Hi, I'm Shorty and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is how to do a Miller flip. It might be a little different to the versions you've seen elsewhere, but it's the version where you rotate first and then put one hand down. I'm still not 100% at landing them consistently, but I will show you some tips and tricks on how I've been learning how to do it. So my intro and the blue ramp footage was filmed about 6 weeks ago. The footage with the wooden ramps was filmed this week, so I was able to finish this tutorial. Roller skating is a dangerous sport and we all skate at our own risk. Please don't attempt this trick unless you are confident in taking a lot of falls. I recommend you wearing at least your knee pads, helmet and elbow pads. If you have a bad shoulder, do not attempt this trick. You may have seen other Miller flip tutorials where you have to practice back bends, but don't worry, this is not one of them as my back is not that flexible. So I thought about a different way to try and replicate the feeling and body positioning of a Miller flip, and I came up with this. Because of the positioning of my bed, I have mirrored this video so it looks like I'm doing it on my right side. Ideally, you want to use the corner of your bed or similar object. You want to position your feet in a stance that will open your hips to the rotation. As you roll over the corner of your bed, you want to spot and place your hand on the ground. You will need to rock a little to create some momentum to help your feet get over. Note, there is no arching of the back and the rotation is not straight over like a back handspring, but at an angle as you twist as well as flip. For large vert ramps, you need to be more patient with your technique and not turn or jump too early. But falling and bailing out is a lot safer as the transition will catch you and most likely you'll end up sliding down like a slippery dip. For smaller ramps, the timing is easier as you have to take off before the coping, but personally I find it a lot scarier as there's more risk of clipping the coping or hitting the deck, and the falls are more sudden. It's less of a slide and more of a thud. So I don't really have a step-by-step process for this trick as I learned it by trial and error. What I can show you is a breakdown of my thought process when I practice the Miller flip. The pump. Before attempting this trick, you need to be confident in pumping and know how to effectively pump up the transition to gain air. If you can do this, then first practice pumping up the transition, and instead of straightening your legs as you go up the ramp, you want to keep a low stance. The path. So depending on if I do a Miller flip on a vert ramp versus over coping, my path slightly changes. On a vert ramp, my path is quite vertical. I think this is because I can keep my skates on the ramp the whole way, so I feel confident in pushing off the ramp without spotting my hand placement first. Whereas if I take it to a smaller ramp and over coping, it's a little scarier, so having a wide arc as my path of travel means the time between pushing off the ramp and spotting my hand placement is a lot shorter. The flip. As you skate towards the ramp, make sure you pump into the transition and hold a low stance as you travel up the ramp. Engage your core, and as you get close to the top of your pump, which should be the vert part of the ramp, you will need to do 3 things. 1. You want your feet to travel past your hips. 2. You want to start twisting your upper body but only slightly. Think back to the rotation on the bed. 3. You want to push off the ramp to help flip your legs over. When I push off a vert ramp, the push isn't a strong one. It's just enough to help with the rotation of the flip. But when I do it over coping, then I tend to push a little harder because I can't ride the vert up as there isn't any. Also, you won't actually see the place where you plant your hand before you push off. I think this is a key part of doing a Miller flip. Once I focused on doing the flip before I spot my hand, then I was able to land it more consistently. The hand. As I start to twist my upper body, I will outstretch my arm to get ready to make contact with the ramp. I aim to plant my hand around my shoulder head height and land with a soft elbow so I don't jar my arm or hurt my shoulder. The landing. At the filming of this video, I haven't been able to land on all 8 wheels. I still have the habit of putting down one toe stop, but I hope to correct that bad habit soon. What not to do. Now here are some fails that might help show why the above technique is important. When you start to lean back too early, your feet can slip out. If you twist too much because you're trying to spot your landing before pushing off, then you'll probably place 2 hands down instead of 1, which can turn into a different kind of Miller flip. If you push off too early, you'll rotate your body into the ramp. However, sometimes you can still land the trick, but you'll probably make contact with your elbow, which is why I recommend wearing elbow pads. If you don't push off at all, you won't have enough rotation to land your feet. If you push off too much, you will have trouble placing your hand on the ramp. Also, your feet can land more on the flat than on the transition. So I hope you are able to take a couple things away from this video that will help you with your Miller flips. Tag me on Instagram at shortstop.6 as I'd love to see your progress.
That was a good one, right?
Thank you for watching, and please like and share this video if you found it helpful. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more skating tips and tricks.